I'm doing a course at the moment, and we were talking about this in our first lecture, was identity politics. There is this very dangerous language now that it's us again, it's the people have spoken. So with Brexit, for example, 51% of people voted to leave. And that has now become the people have spoken. So to go against Brexit and to challenge the even notion of leaving the European Union, it's like you're going against the mandate of the people. But actually you're generalizing. There's still 49% who didn't want to leave. And that number may have changed now given the facts and the figures and how things have changed, especially that campaign slogan that we saw on the bus that they had. And it's very interesting that
millions came to the NHS. Exactly. Still cracks me up.
So it's interesting that that's also becoming the language of the campaigns and the politicians as well. Of if you look at both Theresa May and Jeremy Corbyn, they're both using and appealing to that populist language.
Yeah, because it shuts you up. Like, because you can't say it's like, oh well, if you're against Brexit, you're clearly against democracy. What is wrong with you, tyrant? You know what I mean? Like that kind of natural
progression. If we break that down, what's actually
anything.
happening there? Just to help people who are watching, like what's really at play there? If you kind of analyze the tools and the kind of devices politically, what do you see going on in there?
It's like you say, it's that us against them politics, but it's also an easy way of shutting out debate. You know, politicians want you to be a part of their campaign, want you to believe them, and if they can do that with as little debate and discussion as possible, then they will prefer that. And it also stems from the way the media have been doing. You know, the Daily Mail's been strung up about this all the time. You know, when you know the Supreme Court judges, for example, said that no, Parliament needed to debate Brexit. I mean, it's ridiculous that it didn't just go to Parliament straight away.
I can't remember the headline that they had.
It was something about how
they were against enemy of the people.
Enemy of the people, and they quoted these three judges, and these poor guys. You know, they had nothing incriminating, so they branded. I think one was homosexual, so they somehow turned that into something negative, and it's like, that is the information that most people get. You know, that is the most read paper in the UK, which again tells you something about where people get most of their information from. And the narrative that I think is going on there is that simply that with politicians, they saw how effective it was for Trump. They saw how effective it was in the Brexit debate. And Brexit would be incredibly hard because it wasn't a straight out win. You know, a couple of percent here and there. It was so divisive because over 40% of the people do not want to leave. So how do you deal with that as a government? And if you can just shut them up by saying, well, this is democracy, this is what we're going to go for, then of course you'd do it.